It really is sad to come across a skate park that's been neglected and left to waste, such as this skate park behind me in Port Richey, Florida. It's not a good sight. Let's get into it. Port Richey, Florida. Don't really know a whole bunch about this town. It seems to be pretty small, but the recreational center that I'm at is actually pretty nice. The bad thing is the skate park is not. Port Richey is located about an hour north of the center of downtown Tampa, and it's very close to the coast, right on the edge of the water, and it's kind of not a very popular place. So I've been searching around the Tampa area to find the lesser known skate parks just to see what they're like, and I kind of know why this one is not very popular. Right when you get here, you'll notice that it is in a nice area. It's a nice recreational area with an aquatic center. There's a pool, there are basketball goals. Everything here is pretty well kept up and looks really nice and new and clean, except the skate park. From a distance, it doesn't look too terrible. You'll notice that it is rather small and that they are all metal ramps. Once you go into the park, it's a nice little fenced in area. You'll see there are ramps on one half, and then the other half is just flat ground. Basically, this park is just a hodgepodge of Skatewave ramps. And Skatewave doesn't exist anymore, but it's a lot like Woodward and Arc and other companies like that sell like kits, you just purchase a skate park and then you assemble it, boom, in the space that you've got. And here it's like they have different ramps from different kits. So that's why I say it's like a weird hodgepodge of ramps. There's no like back and forth flow. It's just one straight line. You've got the 5-foot quarters with the 6-foot extension on one side, and then you just go at a line down to the end of the park, and that's it. Before I break down each individual ramp, let's just talk about the condition of the ramps themselves. The 5-foot quarters with a 6-foot extension, the bottom plates are missing on 2 sections and the other ones are a little loose, so it's definitely dangerous. That means that 2 of the quarter pipes are virtually unskateable. You could probably ride down them, but you cannot ride up them. The fun box is pretty damaged. It's got a lot of little cracks in it, a lot of bumps. The sheet metal at the bottom is bent. Feels like it's gonna break apart when you're skating it. And then there's also a lot of trash here. One section with a bank to box to stair set. There's a whole bunch of trash right next to it, a lot of debris basically. I think that's debris buildup that happens that gets underneath ramps, and it's like there used to be another section that was connected to it, and then they removed that section and didn't clean out underneath it. So there's just a lot of debris just hanging out right there. So let's break down this park into its individual ramps. Since there's so few, I think I can just touch on each of them. So let's start off with the quarter pipe. So the quarter pipe is 3 5-foot sections that are put together that are 4 foot wide each, and then there's a 6-foot extension connected to that that's also 4 foot wide. You can only skate one of the 5-foot quarters and the 6-foot extension quarter. The transition on them is really, really good. It's really smooth, it's really mellow. Doesn't shoot you up too quickly. It's actually really easy to skate and a lot of fun to skate. It's very unfortunate that you can't skate the whole thing. Like they should just remove, I guess, the 2 other sections that don't have the metal at the bottom. Right across from the quarter pipe are 2 spines. One spine that both sides of the spine come dead even with each other. There's nice coping on the top and it feels solid. And then the other one right next to it is a spine with maybe like a foot or 2 gap on the top. I have a feeling that those are for a BMX park because they are pretty big. I think the quarter pipes and the spines came from like a BMX park, specifically made for BMX, because those spines are big. Right next to the spine is the fun box, and I'd probably say it's ironically the funnest thing out here. It does feel a little bit janky and you do have to get used to it just because it's not smooth, it's bumpy, and it feels like it's about to fall apart, but it is fun. The banks on it aren't too steep, they're not too tight, and you can actually easily air over the flat, especially when dropping in off the 5-foot quarter pipe, so it is a lot of fun. The rail on the top I didn't even touch because it's super, super low and just feels weird, so I don't know, I didn't skate that. It's pretty rusted and it needs some help. And just beyond that is the flat bar. You see these everywhere. It's a flat kink bar. We got a high section and a low section. That rail is very sturdy. Needs a little bit of wax because it's a little bit rusted, but once you get it waxed up, it's very easy to skate and just, you know, your typical flat bar. And then finally, right next to the rail is a bank to flat to stair set. And there's a barricade with sheet metal on top that grinds and slides really well. The barricade's a little bit short, but it's still a lot of fun to skate, and you can easily get onto it from that flat surface. The only complaint I would have about this section is that I wish the flat were a little bit longer. For some people, it's gonna be kind of difficult to get set up, but as long as you can get set up before you hit the bank, you should be fine. It's an 8-foot flat, so it just takes getting a little bit of used to, but I like small stair sets. Those are always a ton of fun to skate. And then off to the side is a whole lot of flat ground surfacing. So there's definitely room for this place to grow. It is fun to do, you know, some flat ground stuff. It's always nice to have that at a skate park, but you could definitely fill that area with some ramps. I don't know what their plans are with this place. It really is sad to see. Some of the ramps are already unskateable, and 5 to 10 years time, they'll be completely unskateable. I mean, they're just going to waste, all dented up and rusted up and falling apart, missing pieces. It's not a good look for this town. It's really unfortunate because everything else here at this facility is really nice. It's just a poor reflection on the city to not pay attention to the skate park as much as it pays attention to all the other amenities in the area. They do have lights out here. I didn't film a whole lot underneath the lights, but I did skate it yesterday a little bit at night, and they were bright enough to skate, so no problems there. I'm not sure what time they close. Since they do have lights, I imagine that they probably stay on between like 9 or 10. That's typically how most places are, but it's just come up and skate, no worries. You don't have to wear a helmet. You don't have to sign a waiver. That's always nice to have, but that's pretty much it. It's kind of sad, and there's tons of skate parks in the Tampa area that are 10 times better than this one. This is probably the worst one that I've come across so far in the Tampa area, but no one really comes out here. There was a couple of local guys that I saw and talked to, and it's not really busy. So if you're a beginner and you don't want to skate around a bunch of people, then this is, you know, a fine place to go where you're not going to be really bothered by anybody, but you have to make sure that you're careful and you don't cut yourself on a piece of ramp that's sticking up out of the ground. So it's just, I hate to see it. Hopefully one day the city will do something about this and replace all these ramps. So that's it. Thank you for watching another episode of Skatepark Showcase. I just want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing. You're helping me get gas in my car so I can stay on the road and continue shooting these episodes. I would one day love to do this full time so I can bring awareness to all the skate parks in the country. That's the goal. It's a crazy goal, but I think it can be accomplished, but only with your help. So if you just visit my Patreon and you want to donate, you can do as little as $1 a month, and that would help me out tremendously. Thanks for sticking around for another episode. Here's what's coming up next.